Suffering didn't make you stronger. It made you better at hiding. That's it. That's the whole uncomfortable truth nobody wants printed on a mug. We inherited this idea: whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, like it's some universal law of physics. It isn't. It's a slogan. And slogans exist to make complicated things feel simple, so we stop asking questions about them. Because if the slogan were true, the most broken people you know would also be the most whole. That's not what actually happens. And somewhere you already know that. Carl Jung spent decades studying what pain actually does to a person, and his answer was a lot less flattering than "it builds character." He said the parts of ourselves we refuse to face don't vanish. They go underground. He called that underground part the shadow, the stuff about us that got rejected, punished, or shamed, so early we learned to disown it just to stay safe. Left unexamined, that shadow doesn't make you resilient. It runs the show from behind a curtain you don't even know is there, deciding who you trust, what you tolerate, how close you let anyone get, all without asking your permission first. This isn't pop psychology poetry. It's Jung's actual clinical framework, and it means the version of strength most of us were sold is backwards. Pause. Lower tone. Here's what actually happens to a nervous system that's been through something and never processed it. It doesn't get tougher. It gets quieter on the outside and louder on the inside. Hypervigilant. Scanning every room for the exit, every relationship for the moment it turns. People call this being guarded, like it's a personality trait they chose. It's not a choice. It's a body that learned, correctly, that letting its guard down once went badly and now treats safety itself as suspicious. That's not strength. That's a nervous system stuck in a rehearsal for a disaster that already happened. Jung's shadow isn't some poetic metaphor for your dark side. It's the stuff you never looked at directly, and unexamined pain doesn't sit still. It leaks into who you trust, what you tolerate, who you become without noticing you became it. And here's where it gets darker, because this is the part nobody wants to admit about themselves. Being misunderstood starts to feel good, not in a healthy way, in the way a scab feels good to pick. It becomes proof that you're deeper than everyone around you, too complex to be figured out, too much for ordinary people. Except, a lot of the time it's just isolation wearing a nicer outfit. And the world will reinforce this without even trying to. The algorithm rewards the brooding, misunderstood persona because it performs well. People in your life stop pushing past your walls because it's easier to let you have your distance than to fight for closeness you might not even want anymore. Slowly, being unknowable becomes an identity. It gives you narrative control. You get to be the tragic main character instead of just a person who got hurt and never dealt with it. That control feels safer than the risk of being fully seen and maybe still rejected. So what did Jung actually mean by getting whole, if it's not survive and get stronger? He called it individuation, and it has nothing to do with performing endurance. It's the slow, unglamorous work of integrating the shadow instead of hiding from it. Bringing the parts of you that you're ashamed of, or scared of, or embarrassed by, into the light where you can actually look at them. There's a real difference between coping and processing, and most people never learn it. Coping is managing the pain well enough to function, numbing it, outrunning it, building a personality around avoiding it. Processing is sitting with the actual thing, naming what it did to you specifically, without the armor of "I'm fine" or the performance of "I'm broken." Jung's idea, paraphrased faithfully, was that what you don't face controls you from the dark. You don't get free of it by pretending it's not there, and you don't get free of it by wearing it as a costume either. So what does strength actually look like? From this angle, not silence, not the brooding main character act, and not the opposite either, not forcing yourself to be positive until the feeling suffocates. Strength looks almost boring from the outside. It's a person who can say, plainly, exactly what happened to them, and exactly what it cost, without either shrinking it down to nothing or building an entire personality out of it. No performance in either direction, just an accurate account. Jung would have called that the difference between a persona, the mask you show the world, and something closer to the truth underneath it. Most people spend their whole lives polishing the mask instead of ever looking behind it. That's the actual turn here, not a mindset shift, an action. Here's something concrete to try, tonight if you want. Take one thing that hurt you and finish this sentence, honestly. What I learned to do to survive that was not what you learned about life in general, what you specifically started doing. Isolating. Over-explaining yourself. Testing people before you let them close. Going quiet the second someone gets too accurate about you. Name the actual behavior. In writing. In your own words. That's the shadow coming into the light, instead of running the show from the dark. That's the beginning of integration, not another badge to wear, not another wound to perform. Just one honest sentence, tonight, that nobody else has to see. You don't owe your suffering a personality. You don't have to keep being the misunderstood one just because it once felt like the safest role available. The version of you on the other side of actually processing this isn't harder or colder, it's just less afraid of being known. If any part of this hit closer than you expected, that's worth sitting with instead of scrolling past. Tell me which movement did it, the shadow part, the misunderstood part, or the individuation part. That's the whole point of a video like this. Not to be agreed with, to be recognized.